Boom! It's over 50, so what? And I'm Carol. To kick off with today, we're going to have a chat to Alan Stevens. He's an international profiling and communication specialist, and he uses multiple techniques, including face reading, to help us communicate better with everyone in our lives. Workmates, partners, children, grandchildren. After the break, join us in the 5-minute fitness segment. Now I'm wondering, are you one of these people that have been watching the show for weeks and you haven't joined in yet? Well, today is the day. Jump up and join in with us. Let's have some fun together. To finish off with, we meet some passionate crafters who believe you don't need any artistic ability to start making your own creations. Welcome to Energy for Life. Previously on this segment, we've spoken to an expert in emotional intelligence, and he told us how we can use EQ and body language to improve our communications with others and our relationships. Today we're going to take a look at another tool, profiling. We meet Alan Stevens. He's an international profiling and communications specialist. Alan is regularly seen in national TV, radio and the world press. He profiles leading politicians, TV and sports stars, even the British royalty. The Herald describes Alan as the mentalist meets Dr. Phil. Hi Alan, and welcome to Over 50 So What? Great to have you on the show.
Thank you very much. Over 50 So What? I think we've got a lot to talk about.
Well, we also say over 60 so what, over 70 so what, so you just, yeah, that's what we're all about. Now, you describe yourself as a profiling specialist, and most people would watch cop shows on TV and CSI, and they'd see all these criminals being profiled. Can you just talk to us a bit about what kind of profiling you do?
Well, as you say, when people hear that, they usually get nervous when I'm in a room and they think, oh, is it that CSI type stuff? And I go, no, profiling is used in a lot of different ways. The way I use it is to build relationships with people. The more I can understand somebody, know how they like to take information in, then I know how to speak to them in a way in which we can connect more effectively.
And what type of profiling do you do? We've talked on the show before about EQ and body language. Can you tell us a bit more specifically about your style of profiling? Originally,
I used to use psychometric profiling, where we'd ask people questions, and through the answers they gave us, we'd be able to work out their profile. But about middle of the 2000s, 2007, 2008, I realised I needed a more efficient system of being able to read people without asking them a single question. So what I found was by bringing 4 different modalities together, I can do that. And the first one is, and this may sound a little bit woo-woo to some people who are listening to this, your facial features tell me your personality. And if you think about it, how that works, if you lift weights, you're going to build muscles in your body. And everything we feel inside, we express outwardly. That's why the expressions on our face and our body language work. You put those together. And if you concentrate like I do, I think and I work when I'm working away, and I pull expressions. That's why I've got these vertical lines above my eyes here, between my eyes, and also above my eyebrows, the raised sections there, because I'm working those muscles over and over again when I'm thinking. So your facial features are a history of how you like to think and process. There's your personality. Then when I'm talking to you, I now know where I am on the world scale and where you are, so I know how to change the way I like to be spoken to match the way that you need to be spoken to. And when I do that, now I've made a connection with you, and I've got your body language and expressions that then give me the feedback. So there's little twitches on the face that give away your emotions. And so when I put all that together, I know your personality, change the way you need to be spoken to, the way I like to be spoken to match the way you want to be spoken to. And then I get the feedback from the body language and expressions.
Well, that sounds fascinating. I can't wait to get into it in a bit more depth. Now, how exactly did you, on your journey, end up doing this?
Well, because I was shocking at reading people. We've known each other for quite a while, number of years. And before that, you know that I've had a couple of marriages, I've had a lot of relationships, I'd had business partners who emptied the bank out. So I was pathetic when it came down to reading people, very poor at it. But in the late 2000, about 2007, 2008, I was working with a company that taught currency trading, and it was from there that I learned that I needed to read people more effectively, and I needed something better than asking people questions like using Myers-Briggs and DISC. And so with that, I then went searching, and I found the people who worked with the facial features and facial expressions. So in my case, it was at the age of 23, being put in charge of men who were older than me. That was my first instance into needing to read people. And then in my late 30s, my first wife left, and I had 3 boys to raise on my own. They were 4, 11 and 12. So now it was understanding them, and I moved into bringing all of it together. And it's been a progression to now where I've been classed as one of the leading authorities on reading people globally.
Yes, I did mention that in your introduction about the mentalist meets Dr. Phil. Now, you've alluded to some of the benefits of profiling because we've got people watching the show. Some are working full-time, some are working part-time, some are doing community work, volunteer work. Others aren't fully retired, not doing anything. So we've got a variety of viewers watching over 50. And profiling, you've alluded to already, is great to enhance your communications and your relationships with others. So can you give us more examples? You've mentioned that your children and your workmates and your teammates and the people you're underneath you, of how this profiling can help you in everyday life.
If you think about relationships are the foundation of everything we do in life. To find a partner, we've got to build a relationship with them. With our children, if we've got to have that relationship with them so that they feel that they belong, that they're loved and everything else, and get that connection with them. We need to be able to build a relationship. In the workplace, we're working with people. We're social beings. And so in the workplace, we're always connected to other people. We want to make sure it's a great connection. And so if we start off with, say, first of all, finding the right partner. The idea there is to be able to read your partner, understand their personality traits, know what you want in your life, and you can find the right partner through being able to read them that way. Once you've found the partner, then how do you keep that partner? Because every trait has an upside and every trait has a downside, as I call it, where you have a strength and you have a weakness. The strength is where the things that you love doing. And when you get together with somebody, it'll be the high side of their traits that we notice. And that's when we fall into lust and the relationship starts. But over a period of time, we get used to that excitement and it becomes no longer as exciting as it was before. Now we notice the other side of the traits. The person hasn't changed. We think they've changed, but our perception of them has changed. So if we know how to speak to them about how to talk to the downside of their traits and understand that, we can bring the excitement back into the relationship. Then with our children, we know what hobbies and sports will suit them at a very early age. Before they pick their final subjects at school, we know what careers will suit their personality. So we can steer them into a career where they're going to be happy at work. So if you find a job that matches your career, then you're going to be happier at work. If you're going to be happier at work, you're going to be more productive. The company makes more money. And if you're happy at work, you're going to be happy at home. And the relationship with your spouse will be better, and the relationship with your children. So this fits into every part of life.
And I understand that you do help people with specific relationships, like you mentioned before, working with a child, working with a partner, and a lot of our viewers may have grandchildren. So you can actually provide some insight into that relationship and that communication between the two different profiles. Is that right?
It's where the profile really works, because in young Jack's situation, his mother sent me his photographs. I profiled those photographs. And while I've got the person on screen, the parent, and especially if there's 2 parents, I'll profile both of them and tell them how each of them need to change differently in the way that they speak, so they're talking the same way to the child. And each parent will need to change differently because they'll be different personalities.
Right, well, that's fascinating stuff. We could probably talk for hours and hours and hours, but we only have a few minutes. So we're going to have to wind up now. So thank you so much for sharing all that information with us. So, and thanks for coming on the show.
You're welcome. Thanks very much for the invitation.
everybody, are you ready? On your feet, doesn't matter what you're wearing. Let's do it. Are we ready? On our feet, come on, up you get. Just a nice little groove and shake. Step, tap, step, tap, step, tap, step, tap. That's it. How easy is this? You feel better already, don't you? If you're not on your feet, do it where you are. Forward, cha cha cha, back, cha cha cha, and again. Last one. Walk on the spot. 2, 3, tap. 1, 2, 3, tap. 2, 3, tap. 1, 2, 3, tap. And we go. 1, 2, 3, tap. 3, tap. 1, 2, 3, tap. 1, 2, 3, and tap. 1, 2, 3, and forward. And tap. Tap. And tap. And tap. Tap. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. We got it. And hold there on the spot. We're going to go for a little walk around. Just check the floor. Make sure there's nothing for you to trip over. And we go. That's it. Just walk around the place. That's it. And step, touch, step, touch, step, touch, step, touch, step, touch. And to the side, toe, heel. So you've got the groove now, you've got it handled. Bang! and welcome to the Picture to Page Papercraft show. It's all happening in the background. We've talked a couple of times about different kinds of papercraft, and we've got the lovely Michelle Brown with us again today.
Hi Carol, hi everyone, it's great to be back.
Now, for all those viewers that haven't seen the previous show, can you just tell them something about the different types of papercraft? We talked about journaling and scrapbooking and all that.
We certainly can. Well, papercraft is quite a broad range of crafts. So like we said, it covers card making, it covers scrapbooking, art, journaling, and then we've got the whole off the page as well. So 3D shapes, boxes, planners, so that we can organise our stuff and our memories and our appointments. And it just really is a broad range of techniques that once you get one under your belt, it's easy to translate them to other crafts as well.
Yeah, so we talked about the progression, starting with a card, and then you progress on to some of those other types of things. And this is the place where you can go and check everything out and get some ideas.
So what we like to say from Picture to Page, you can come and see, play and buy. You can come and see the latest paper crafts, watch demonstrations from our talented retailers. You can come and have a play with a mini class or a make and take, and then you can buy your craft supplies. And Carol, you can take them straight home. You don't need to wait for the post to arrive. And then of course, when you pull them out, if you have any trouble with them, you can get back in touch with us and the retailers. The next show you can learn how to use them if you've bought things and you've forgotten or they didn't quite work properly, and we really can put the faces to names. So you're not just buying from websites that you may not know who's behind them. You really are dealing with small businesses, mostly women, a lot of over 50s, and it really is such a lovely community.
Now we can't wait to meet some of the retailers and see what's happening with some of these enthusiasts that have come out to enjoy the show. And now we're going to speak to the lovely Mary, who's been in the papercraft industry since the 80s, is that right?
Yes. Since the 80s it was papercraft, just paper actually, stationery, cardstock, mainly school supplies. And then we moved on to card making. We die cut all our cards. We buy Australian-made cardstock from Australian paper mills, and we import very little in the 3D die cuts, and that's how we started. And our lovely customers became teachers, and we teach card making classes in the 3 different areas that we go every week. And the craft shows, we only do free make and takes. Jeanette is doing some there. I even learned how to make cards during COVID, and I did some online shows and YouTube with Michelle.
Yeah, it's amazing. Being all those years in the industry, and now you're making your own cards just during COVID.
I've never made cards until last May.
Yeah, right, let's have a look at some of your cards.
Well, last May I attempted to make something like this. This was only made the other day. This is our octagon die.
Wow, that's fancy.
Yeah, with a spring in it. And there's a YouTube on the hexagon that I did last May. I also made, this is another card I made the other day with our gilding flakes and just a little bit of a Mr. and Mrs. there. I thought wearing appropriate. Then more gilding flakes, because I'm in love with gilding flakes at the moment, the techniques of gilding flakes. This is a bit of embossing. That just cut and emboss by Crafter's Companion. Some butterflies. This is just some of the cuts I made very easily over one evening.
And 1 year you've got all these fancy techniques.
Yes,
that's
that
very
doesn't
impressive.
take me long. Cheryl does most of them, and Jeanette and Robin.
So tell me, Mary, if someone's sitting at home and they're thinking about taking up card making, what would you say to them?
Easy, just have a go. You'll be surprised at your own creativity. I have been. It's easy, really. Just need some paper and mix and match. If you can dress yourself up in the morning, you can make a card. Easy.
That's awesome.
Easy.
Thanks, Mary.
Thank you. Thank you.
And now we're going to learn about salt crystals with pixie powder, whatever that is. I don't know whether Tinkerbell's going to fly in and do something, but we have with us the lovely Irene, and Irene's going to demonstrate. Hi, Irene.
Hi, how are you? I'm with J-Craft, and pixie powders are a mica-based powder, and you just use them on watercolour cardstock. You give your watercolour cardstock a spritz of water, sprinkle on the pixie powders, and they just burst into colour. So you can use more than one colour with each one. A bit more water.
Wow, look at that transforming. Woohoo.
And then you can, get an even better effect. You can let it dry with the salt crystals on. The salt will absorb some of the colour and you'll be left with different colour effects through your effect. That'll take maybe 2 or 3 hours to dry off. Some I've done here. I did this one yesterday. You can see that there is shiny splotches on it, which will make a beautiful card front, and others I've got left to dry. So we'll just put that aside and leave that to dry, and that's going to come up really nice.
And then you can put extra glitter on top,
You can put extra glitter on top, and you turn it into a card, put a happy birthday on it, and you're away.
Woohoo! And you can take the salt crystals off and reuse them, is that right?
You can reuse them, you just dry them and then you put them onto a plain cardstock, spritz them again with water and they will bloom again.
Wow, that's interesting technique. Never seen that before.
It's a very old technique. So,
is it?
Yeah.
Well,
It's been around for ages.
Like 100 years or something?
Oh, I don't know whether 100 years, but yeah, it's been around. It's one of those techniques that just keeps coming back every few years.
Well, thank you so much, Irene,
Thank
for
you.
showing us that.
Okay.
You and your pixie powder. I was still waiting for Tinkerbell to turn up, though.
There's no Tinkerbell here.
Thanks, Irene. For all those people that joined in the fitness segment today, well done, congratulations. Now keep the momentum going. Go jump on YouTube and get some more 5-minute fitness routines. Over 50, so what? If you'd like to know more about how Alan Stevens can help you with your communication challenges, just jump on our website, carolahalloran.com, go to Facebook or YouTube, Over 50, so what? Likewise, if you've been inspired to take up papercraft, just go to our website, Facebook or YouTube. As the lovely Mary says, it's easy. Just have a go. You'll be surprised at your own creativity. And if you can get up and get dressed in the morning, you can make a card. Please go pick up the phone now and call somebody. Stay connected, keep active, and please take care of each other. I'm Carol, over 50. So what? Thanks for watching our TV show. Be sure to hit subscribe and then you'll never miss an episode. Jump on Facebook, join our group, get in on the fun, fitness, wellness and inspiration. I'm Carol, over 50. So what?